please welcome Mr. Red Wemack.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. And hello, everyone. It is January 30th, 2023. And I think this will be the last broadcast of this month on my part. But I thought we'd talk about, actually have a question and answer. We haven't had a Q&A in a long time, but in between time, I wanted to share something with you. Skin cancer is not the end of everything. Quite recently, it's been popping up on me as I get older. Basically, thank you, Jim. Basically, it's been just a little bit at a time. Now, wrong way. I have one that's coming out here, and I've had surgery this year 3 or 4 times. And the other one on my nose there was one up in the corner up here, there was one down here, and there was a big one over here. And doctors I have are really good, and that's good for me. I'm happy. So Zick, it's not melanoma. It's squamous cell. Basal cell and squamous cell are about the easiest to get rid of. And that's the way it is. How you doing, Big Tuna? Gabby, good to see you in here. Adam's with the show. Hey, how you doing, Adam? I'll recover. I can show you some things that I recovered from, and there's no scar there at all. He did a very fine job. I'm watching all your comments. Thank you, Miss Can't Be Wrong. Julie, she wants to say hi to you, Adam. You're there. How many stitches in my hand? 51 on the outside. 51 on the outside. Several hundred on the inside. And I'll show you that wound in a minute here. Okay? You want to see the one on my hand? Well, that's what my hand looked like. Actually, you could see the tendons and the bones even in my hand. And that's what it looked like. But it's not the end of the world. And I did recover. And no matter what I have, I will recover, I think, as long as it's just skin cancer. No big problems there. Jim Magnifici. I pray that everybody recovers. We all will if we do what we're told to, if we get good medical attention. Yes. Every time it comes up, I just take them off. You're right. Thank you so much, Miss Can't Be Wrong. I will survive. It's not the end of the world. Yeah. Well, we all have our Catherine Guerrero. How are you today? Don Cheech. Good to see you. I guess the gang's all talking to each other. And I like that. George Wilson. I want to thank all of you for stopping by. I really do. Anyway, let's get to it. There's so many people that when Adam and I are doing our show on Mavlog every Wednesday, and the after show too, even on my after show, there's all kinds of people that ask me questions that I really don't get a chance to answer. So today I decided to have an open Q&A where you guys can ask me anything you want to ask me. Anthony, wish you all the best, Fred. Okay, buddy. God bless you. Very interesting enough. It is 80 degrees here today. I'm not used to that. It's going up and down with the weather. And I'm just not used to it. But at any rate, getting back to it, let's see. I'm looking through your questions here. Outfit Boss had a cyst removed last year. Adam's saying hi to me. We're all saying hi to each other. Hey, the gang's all here. You're in Riverside, Illinois. How you doing? Scott H., how you doing? BSJ, how you doing, buddy? How you doing, Tracy? Hope everything's well by you folks. It is an unusually warm day. It really is. I'm showing 80 degrees. How you doing, Zol? Good to see you. Good to see all of you. Kissy cat. Red, I'm married to an Irish and lots Skin tests around here, I guess. You're just 1 degree off me. That's all. Yes, that's what I had. Mouth surgery on my face, on my leg, on my hand, on my back. I've had it so many places. It started around 1994, and I've just been doing it and doing it and doing it. Pete Byron, how you doing, buddy? Kirby W, what is the survival rate on skin cancer? The kind I have, 100%. 100%. They go down and they get below where the actual tentacles are, and they remove it, and it doesn't come back. Not in that spot. It may come back someplace else. Michael Graham, it's 12 degrees in Chicago. Just for spite, maybe Florida will have a late season hurricane. Thank you, Mike. That's just what I wanted to hear. I used to do that, Julie. I don't now. The doctor told me don't even bother. Just wait something pops up, and then come in and let me know. Any rate, do we have any questions? Alvin, top dog, how you doing, buddy? Alvin, I haven't seen you here before. I don't remember you. Master Chronicles, how you doing? I guess we just don't have any questions. Johnny O. Have I considered moving to Alaska? No, I have not. Johnny O. That's not on my list of favorite places to go. I like the warm weather. I really do. Tim. Hey, Red. God bless you, brother. Thank you, Tim. God bless you too, and all you love. So, Tommy Bridges, you asked a question above. I missed it. Let me go up looking for it. If you type it in again, Tommy, I'll give it a try. Zoe, Red, did you a Joey Cosentino at American Bonding? Did I know him? Yes. Joey Cosentino owned the building at American Bonding, and he was always in there. Quite a mover. Quite a mover. He had a little black book, and he had everybody's phone number across the street at 11th State. He'd make a phone call, and they'd have the prisoner brought down and waiting. They actually let him go over to the bond office. Hey, how you doing, Kraut? Sorry to hear about the health problems. It's not the worst in the world. Like I said, it's curable. My kind is. Okay, we have some questions here. You may have answered this before, but how many shops did I own? Porn shops, just one. Tim, how high in the outfit was Kurt Hansen, and was Kurt feared? Yes, he was feared, but as far as being high in the outfit, no. He was just a soldier. He worked for Jimmy Couture. And before that, he worked for other people. Laporte, people like that. Tommy Bridges, did Johnny Roselli knock on? I don't know what you mean by that, Tommy. I really don't. Pete Byron, did the German, I assume you mean Frank Schweiss, have any kind of social life? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Red, smoke weed for cancer. I'm telling you. Were there any members of the crew who had mutual dislike for that? Were there, Dave Musk, were there any members of the crew who had a mutual dislike for that I had a mutual dislike for? I don't know what you're saying, Dave. Dave Muska. Dave Smith. Who do you want to win the Super Bowl? The best team. That's what I want. That's exactly what I want. Mobster Chronicles, FYI, you need to hit the like button before you enter the chat, or thumbs down is not visible. Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you for telling me, Mobster Chronicles. Outfit Boss, did I ever meet Danny Seaford? No, I never heard of Danny Seaford until he was actually murdered. I really didn't. Luminous Grin, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you here. Sorry about that. Did Johnny Roselli knock on Marilyn's door before he let Schweitz and Tony Splasher in her house? I don't even think Johnny Roselli was there, Tommy. And I like your tongue-in-cheek question. I really do. Makes me laugh a little. Done deal. Do you have any contact with anyone in Chicago since I moved to Florida? Yes, I do. I do have contact. Quite a few people. Bruce City, back in Bruce City too. Back in 1970, New York families, a lot of porn or no? Yes, they did. They really, they backed Ruben Sturman, so they out of Cleveland. So they really had more than Chicago did, a lot more. Off the clog for a minute. If I could bottle this aroma, Anthony. George Wilson, you want the Dallas Cowboys to take down the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl? Well, I kind of want the Dallas Cowboys, honestly. I like the Dallas Cowboys. I really do. Dave Smith, did Bridget the Midget ever come to your stores? Who was your favorite? I really didn't get personally involved in that. It was a business. It wasn't like I was really caught up in it. But Bridget the Midget never came to my store. I didn't have any guests that came down. Zoll, did I ever go to Manny Scar's place, the Sahara Inn near O'Hare Airport? After he was deceased, I did. Yes, I did. Anthony from Street Stories. Last time I did this, I was in Chinatown. First, we found a shoe, then we found a guy attached to the other shoe. Blew him out of his shoes, huh? Michael Graham. With the way some of you in here smoke weed, you think you had bad cancer since high school. I love that, Mike. You're right. Mobster Chronicles, I think I disagree with you just a little bit. He went before the church committee and testified before that. But he was recalled. And when he was recalled, he never made it. He testified like 2 weeks before Sam Giancana died. What's my thoughts on Joe Ferriola? Well, Scott H., I have to tell you, he was a greedy man, and he wanted to raise everybody's taxes, street tax, or whatever he collected from people. A lot of negative things about him. The nicest thing was he didn't stay in power too long. Thank you, Frank, for making it. George Wilson, back in the 60s, 70s, Elmwood Ford, Harlem, had the lease agent that set records for the best presentation on cards. I don't doubt it. Dave Moncasa, did you ever consider yourself a victim of the outfit or more an associate? I always considered myself an associate. Never considered my a victim. If you read my book, Dave, you'll find that I worked my way into it. I worked my way into cover. And as Adam, such a favor he did for me on Moblog, Adam Flowers, he read the whole book, and it's in sequences and it's in a playlist. So those of you that don't want to buy it, don't want to have an autographed copy, I guess Street Stories, you're making me laugh here, Anthony. Don't start. Was there ever a time in Chicago that I feared for my safety? When Kurt was shooting at me. When Kurt Hansen was shooting at me, yes. I feared for my safety then. I was dodging bullets. Anthony, tongue in cheek. You got the Cubs winning the Stanley Cup. Anthony, you got such a sense of humor. I love it. Don Chiches. I'd make that bet. It's a good bet if they keep on choosing. Mr. Suzik, how much did the street tax go up for you in your porn shop every year? It never did. It wasn't consecutive. It didn't go up. Don Berlin, it's good to see you, guy. Haven't seen you in quite some time. How you doing? I often wonder whether those chemicals I was exposed to in Afghanistan resulting in getting skin cancer 4 times, just like you in your day in Agent Orange. I never got anything from Agent Orange, but there are a lot of people that are coming out of Afghanistan with skin cancer. There really are. It just is what it is. Outfit Boss, how's John Drummond doing? Well, the last 3 times I called him, he answered the phone and said, I'm busy right now. Can I call you? Will you call me back later? And when I called him back, I let it ring for it takes him a long time to get to the phone. So I let it ring for maybe 30, 40 times. He didn't answer. But then John told me, he says, after his day is through, he likes to have a couple beers and relax. And for him, a couple beers means he's really relaxed. Anyway, do we have any? Here we got a good question. Michael Graham. Red, did Frank Schweitz keep most of the protection money that you gave him for himself? I later found out he did. I didn't know at the time. I thought he was giving a piece of it to Joe Ferriola like he was supposed to, but I later found out that he pocketed the whole thing. Everything he did, he pocketed. Don Berlin, correct, Red. It's all the burn pits and the artillery shell discard being burnt in the open. Terrible. You're right. War is hell. Pam, you love my laugh, huh? I get criticized about my laugh. In comments, not side comments, but in comments after the show, people turn around and say, does he ever stop cackling? Bruce City 2. You had no idea. You didn't know it? Well, I've always known it. Thank you, Kraut. And by the way, thank you for sending me the pictures on Facebook. I like your hobby. Red, would anyone be able to open up another porn shop on Wall Street near you, or would the outfit have stopped it? That was the deal going in. Nobody would open up near me, and we would close what was around me. It never came to that because Frank wanted to blow up the buildings. He wanted to do all kinds of crazy stuff. Gabby Rodriguez, Red, what kind of music did you and Frank or the Ant listen to in the car? I don't know. It was on the radio. Whatever's on the radio, we played. I can't remember back that far. Sorry, Gabby. Or Jim. Gabby. Julie loves my laugh also. Thank you. Thank you, Julie. Yes, Gary, it will. Will book 2 ever get published? Yes, it will. Jim Magnifici's, come on, hit that like button, folks. Scott H., you're right. I never will stop laughing. I'm just not a mean guy at all. Not to say that I don't have a mean bone in my body, because I do. Don Cheech. Right, other than the fact that Schweiss was a great hitter, why do you think they put up with his mouth and didn't clip him? The reason I can say was he was the go-to guy, and he did build the Admiral Theater and other businesses. And when he was done, he would just take a piece of the action, put somebody else in there to run it, and that's how it went. John O, did I ever consider opening multiple stores? Yes, adult stores. I considered it, and I told Frank Schweiss about it. That was part of my ruse to expand, and it never happened. Did I ever really want to do it? No. It was a headache, man. You have no idea. Frank Ferrero, Red, you need a movie produced. Well, it'd be nice if it was. I'd be captured immortally on film rather than YouTube. Not that I'm complaining. YouTube's okay. Here's a news alert from Michael Graham. Cox and gangbangers alike go to Don's Grill at 18th and Western. There we go. Tommy Bridges, I like your laugh. It's genuine, happy, and it makes it fun to listen to, Red. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. Stim Seffies, did Tony Spilaccio like Frank German, or did he tolerate him? Actually, they were very close friends. When I first met them both, they used to hang out together. They were very, very close friends. Their mentor was Milwaukee Phil. And Milwaukee Phil is the one who decided to put Tony out in Las Vegas. And Frank Schweiss was Milwaukee Phil's bodyguard. But they used to play cards together. They used to hang out together, Tony and Frank. They were kind of... I don't know. They were easy going around. They go out and get a steak together, that sort of thing. Shizik, a porn shop in Elk Grove Village was torn apart and the guy killed in the 70s or 80s for refusing to pay street tax. Yes, I believe you're talking about Oliver, if I'm not mistaken. And that was a surprise to me because I was already up and running and doing fine. Dave Smith, how many businesses did you have? Various businesses. I had 5 running at the same time. Actually, 5. Brad, what business in Chicago paid the most protection? I don't think it was decided by businesses. It was decided by who you were with. I mean, if you're with somebody, if you're with Jackie Cerrone, you might get a break. If you're with Joey Lombardo, you might get a break. If you went to them and asked beforehand, you're definitely going to get a break. So that's your answer, Big Tuna. John Berlin, just one more reason. I'm thankful I didn't go and do tours in Afghanistan and occupy it. Yes. And bless you, Don Berlin, for your service. Really. Thank you, buddy. It's the old story. Ours is not to question why. Ours is to do or die. Forget 8-tracks. Kids all over don't even know what Matchbox look like. I was just talking to Adam about 8-tracks. And I said, do you know how many people probably don't even know what an 8-track is? They've never seen one. I went from 8-tracks to cassettes. Oh no. It snowed in the valley in Las Vegas? You just read about that, Kissy Cat? Wow. Heavenly Bodies in Oak Grove Village is still going strong. Okay. Thanks for the news announcement. I really don't know, Michael Hacker. I really don't know. Is it Hatcher or Hacker? I think it's Hacker. I really don't know. Michael Graham. Hey, Red, did Tony Spilaccio ever have a nickname that people said to his face? The little guy. Yeah, we all call him the little guy. That didn't bother him one bit. He had a twinkle in his eye. Tommy Bridges. Red, did you know Chucky Nicoletti? Ever hang out with him? No, I did not. He was very close to Phil, though. I never met him and never knew him. Dave Smith, I don't know what you're asking here. I really don't. Jim Jagger, it was on Michael Oliver, the owner of the porn shop in Oak Grove Village. He got himself killed. Red, did you ever happen to know John Mendel, the guy who boosted Ricardo's house? No, I did not. Actually, I stayed away from a lot of thieves. I really did. That's why I never met Frank Collada, because he was a thief. It wasn't really a thing, to do. Julie M. What was my favorite thing about Chicago at the time? Well, we had good entertainment. We had theaters all downtown. We had a theater in the Round. We had Golf Mill Theater. We had things all over, everywhere. I mean, there was always something to do. Chicago was a hopping city. There really wasn't that much violence or fear. You could walk down the street and not worry about your, being robbed and stuff like that. It was really good. Scott H. What did I think about Chucky English? He made a big mistake. He retired and tried to come back. Somebody just popped in a message here on the side and says, hey, I got your book today. I agree with you, Don Cheech. Bless anyone that serves. They all need our blessings. Nick Perez, the racetrack, right, Red? I don't know what you're talking about there, Nick. Are you talking about the most income? Don't know. Mobbed Up Podcast. Everybody smash that like button. A lot of people have been complaining about YouTube views been going down and actually getting canceled off of YouTube because they were 20 years old. They got on YouTube and they thought they were going to make a living at it. And that's all they know how to do. As a matter of fact, I listened to one video yesterday about it. And the guy is complaining because they stole all his content. He didn't even back it up and save it on a computer. Also yesterday, I heard from Ron, Faces from Forgotten. I was watching his video on Montgomery Ward and his live video earlier, and he gave me a real good shout out and told everybody to come to my channel and watch all of them. Don showed me how to use a rotary phone. I don't doubt it. Luminous Grin, you must be in Chicago. That's true. Now, through the 50s and early 60s, there were record players in cars. Robert, 0969. There were record players in cars. I remember them. I knew people that had them. Yes, I sure did. I believe it was on Milwaukee Avenue, if I'm not mistaken, Scott. Oh, you mean the Green Mill Tavern over on Devon? I believe that was on Clark and Devon. I hung out there. I used to play pool there all the time. That's before it became a, what do you call it? I don't know, a tourist trap. Oh, Kraut, you had to say this. The goofiest name I ever heard someone get stuck with. There were a couple of them. They used to be laugh. One was, his nickname was the Brain, and that was Philomato. And the other one was Frank Collada, who was, they called him Frankie Four Eyes, to his back. I never saw it around. I never saw the guy, so I don't know. Tim Steffels, did you have any more footage of the German? And are you planning to show it like I did a while back with Adam? Yes, it's really awesome. And Tim, Adam and I were just talking about that last night, and we got to get together on that. And I'm going to have to kind of decode it for him because he can't really understand all the words. Now, after I tell him the words, he can print them and you can hear them. But yes, we are planning to do it very, very much. We have a lot more footage. We only put up 5 minutes, so Adam said last night. John Berlin, right on my last deployment this last year, he went to Slovakia. A group of guys would watch the snow on the rerun in the chow hall. One said, Red smile is homespun and laughed at his reflection of his soul. Thank you, Don. Thank you very much. Bill Crawley, it's been good listening to you, Red. Thank you so much, Bill. If you enjoy it, hit that like button, please. I need all the help I can get. Yes, I saw your notice. It popped up in the corner of the screen, Hogan. Semper Fi, buddy. Semper Fi. Hope you enjoy it, Hogan. I think I gave you a good inscription on there, too. It kind of surprises from some people. George Wilson, my parents had a new 62 Monterey, a record player that played 45s. Okay, George. Pete Byron. Red, did Frank the German ever have to interfere if you and an outside crew tried to squeeze you? No. He said he would, though, if he needed to. He constantly said, you know, if somebody gets in our way, I'll knock them down. But it never happened. Although he did kill Patsy Riccardi from the Admiral Theater, but that reason really wasn't because Pat was interfering with me at all. I believe Pat was Milwaukee Phil's cousin, and they put him in the Admiral Theater, and he was picking up at the Bijou Theater, and he was like maybe 30, 40 million. So Frank went over and took care of him. That's on videotape also. So the word was out, don't mess with Red's story. Yes, it was. But occasionally I'd have some idiots come along that had Joker poker or something like that, and they pull up and they say, you're taking this. And I'd say, no, I'm not. Go back to whoever you told you to come here and tell them, you know, that I said no. Check with your boss because you may have the wrong address. Bruce City 2, in your late 20s, you were in, I don't know how to pronounce that, Tama, Washington, VA, and saw something that bothered me about war. A Vietnam vet, different wing, padded cap, mentally a child, brain injury. That's sad. It really is, Bruce City. Very sad. Outfit Boss, what was your story with Mike Galita? Mike Galita, when Joey went to prison, thought he could just move in and take over me. And since he tried to do that to someone next door to me. And I didn't even ask them to, but Joey went to see Mike. And as was brought out in the tape in Family Secrets, Schweiss is saying on the tape, didn't Lumbo go over and straighten that guy out? If Mike thinks he's going to do something here, and he went off on a rant. Hope that answers your story, Outfit Boss. Michael Graham, were you shocked when Paul Gonski, the owner of the Bijou, was murdered by Schweiss? It wasn't Paul Gonski. It was Pat Ricciardi at the Admiral Theater. Was I shocked? No. He told me he was going to do it. I reached for the phone, called the FBI. As soon as he left, they didn't do anything. All those years left, childlike from war as a non-lieutenant. the high price of war. Very high price. War has a high price to pay. Only once, and I really didn't know who he was at the time, Pete. I only saw him one time, and I really didn't know who he was. Later on, I found out from his son that Anthony Jeep Stadino, that was his father. Goes back. Tomath, Wisconsin. Adam is rubbing off on red. Tony Johnson. Nice opinion, Tony. No, Michael Graham, same thing. After I looked at the books in the safe, it was he was going to murder him. As a matter of fact, Tushin didn't want to testify when he saw the videotapes of Frank talking about murdering him. He just didn't want to get involved in it because he was involved in the other murder of Paul Gonski. But it was Pat Riccardi that was picking up the money from Tushin and keeping it. He was pocketing it. Tushin had gone into the mail order business, and he was making like 15, 20 times what he used to make. Midland Power and Wash Inc. Please make a quick statement on Herbie Blitzstein. Thanks. Quick statement? I never knew him. That's quick. Some more updating information here. Suzik, Fort McCoy's in Thompson. I don't know how you pronounce that. All the Indian names in Wisconsin. Well, folks, it looks like we're running out of stories. Oh, Bruce City. What do we have to say here? You're absolutely right, Don. It's not Bruce City, it's Don. Freedom is not free. We pay the price. Some of us do. I'm lucky. I didn't have to pay the ultimate price. Are you talking about Kashkana? Here's a Wisconsin name to challenge Adam with. Lake Kashkana. Actually, I had a little cabin on there, summer home. Well, folks, Tim Stifles. Thank you for stopping by, Tim. Any stories about Nick Savella and the Kansas City mob? No, I had no contact with them, period. I guess the Alpha bosses looked at you, Michael Graham says, I guess the Alpha bosses looked at you as paying off Frank Schweiss as a private matter between you and Frank. I don't know what his end of the deal was. I really don't. But I knew one thing. A lot of people they just didn't want to mess with him. Nobody did. He was the most dangerous man I ever met in my life. Yeah, that's where the Rock River starts. As a matter of fact, I lived in Rock County, which was about 17 miles south of me was Janesville, Wisconsin. I believe that was on I-90 back in the day. Golf Boy, you're welcome. You're welcome. God bless you. You're welcome. You're welcome, brother. Good night. Hope everybody stays warm. Yeah, we do too. And Don Berlin, God bless you, Don. You're a good man. I believe in come in a high price of, wait a second, let me say this properly. And yes, war can be a claim, a severely high price for some. No one leaves without paying. Yeah, everybody pays. Kimberly, you need a good agent for a movie. You know, the problem with agents is it's you put them on for 20% and they own you. You can't go to another agent. Or if you find something on your own or through somebody else, you're still going through the other agent. So, Kimberly, I just don't believe in agents, period. I didn't use one for my book, which you probably haven't read, Kimberly. They gave him a lot of liberties, Pete. You have no idea how many liberties they gave him. People, they cut him a wide girth. Bruce City was talking about Tacoma. Oh, Tacoma. Fort McCoy's there. Gotcha. Thank you, Pam. I'm glad you caught the live too. If you liked it, hit that like button. At any rate, I am going to say, Red out. God bless you.
The combination of the videotapes and Ouimet's testimony resulted in the conviction of 2 men on extortion charges. One of them was Frank Schweiz, known in syndicate circles as the German, a feared mob terrorist and a suspect in a number of gangland murders.
He was described to me by other outfit individuals as the most feared hitman. And as he said to me, my reputation precedes me, son.